I'd love to start with a question for you, Andrew. What made you want to go back to Broadway with the legend himself, Josh Gad?
It was something
Thank you so much, Andrew.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
So, this show,
Be brief,
okay, I'm going to be super brief.
but sell it.
This show is about two gentlemen who
Oh,
have
you're
written a
losing
musical
them.
about Johann Gutenberg, the inventor of the printing
Get
press.
him back.
These fellas don't really know much about Johann Gutenberg,
You're losing
nor
them
do they
again.
really know a lot about musical
Now you've
theater.
got 'em back.
But they have written a whole musical using the
Note you're stuttering, and
with
now
the aid
they're
of historical
turning this off.
fiction. They've turned Johann Gutenberg into probably
Let me tell you
something
what
he
this
wasn't.
is. It's the greatest musical of its generation.
That's better. That's a better pitch.
I mean, we are blown away that this is happening. It's so surreal. It's a show about two guys who've written a show they're hoping to take to Broadway, written by two guys who never thought the show would go to Broadway. And so it's just unbelievable every day. It's really surreal.
It's been wonderful working with Josh and Andrew. They're both such smart, really inventive performers with just like a quiver of ideas that they can just keep pulling from over and over again. And so they've just been able to invest Gutenberg with just all their comic virtuosity.
It's been a blast. Andrew and I literally have been doing this, I think we call it a marathon, this musical comedy marathon for 2 weeks, essentially just trying to entertain each other. And it's been like we've been our best audience. So we're excited to welcome fans, but at the end of the day, we also know that if it's just the two of us, we're gonna be okay.
If that's any indication, this show is hilarious. If we're laughing.
If Andrew's laughter is any indication, this show's got legs.
They've been working together for 12 years, so they have a great sense of how their comedy dynamic works. So it's really just about sort of figuring out how to set them up for success with the different roles they're playing, and then watching them sort of go at it and go wild, and sometimes edit, but mostly just let them go nuts.
It all starts with two people living in a very hot apartment in Brooklyn, and one of them is an intern for Manhattan Theater Club.
Yeah, I was an intern in the music theater department and would just go see readings of musicals, read new musicals. And often when I would read them, they would come with a CD of songs that were usually sung by the authors. And a lot of them were not great, but there was such a passion and love in the performances that you just couldn't help but fall in love with these strange shows that people were writing. And so we started
incredibly specific
what if we
subjects.
wrote a strange show? Is where we ended up.
Legend.
He's a dream. He's the reason that we're here.
That's the director, right?
Yes, that's the director.
Love that guy.
He brought this show to Josh and I. He had originally directed the show. It was off Broadway and came to Josh and
He
I
wanted
with
Jonah
this
Hill and
idea.
Jonathan Groff. They said no.
They said no, they weren't available.
They weren't available.
But then we were.
Yeah.
And he's just the best. I think
Yes.
I've been an admirer of Alex's, and just I'll just say it, a straight up fan of Alex's for many, many years. Have never gotten to work with him. So I, was very excited to get a chance to work with him. And I got to say, it's been such a fantastic experience getting to do this with him.
He's the only reason I'm still here.
I know Josh would have quit
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Had my contract not said I couldn't, I would have. But Alex, he makes a
kept us in
compelling
the
argument
room.
to stay.
And he's got great hair.
Yeah, he's got magical
That's
hair.
solid hair. Have you talked to him yet? Check out that hair.
Very wavy.
Solid.
Well, we worked with Alex Timbers on Beetlejuice as well, and he originally directed the show off Broadway years ago, and so we've known Alex for so long, and he's just the ultimate collaborator. He has such a strong vision for the shows that he works on, but he nurtures them and the creative process in such a warm way. We're really spoiled. We're incredibly spoiled working with him.
Yeah, he is an incredibly generous of spirit person, and he can make things happen in a rehearsal room that we've never seen happen anywhere else. And not by being a tyrant, strangely, by actually being an amazing human being. Who knew that was possible?
I think that what surprises me the most is their heart. I mean, I knew they were very, very funny performers. I mean, I've been such fans of theirs for years. But to see how much humanity they invest in it, how much their friendship, their personal friendship, comes across through the friendship of these two characters on stage, it's very moving. It's very moving.
they're both such good singers. Like we originally, when we first wrote the show, Scott and I performed the roles, and we are not great singers. And so getting to see that the
We
power
were great
of
in high
their
school.
for high school theater, we were
Slam dunk
amazing.
high school.
But
musical theater
the
singers.
power of their performance and how funny they are together and how their friendship comes out. They love each other so much, and that is it just so palpable when you're watching them.
It's a lot
sweatier.
Doing a two-man show is interesting in that it requires a lot more physical therapy than I remember.
There's ice packs involved.
Yeah. We are the flying DeLorean of our show. So like all the spectacle is our bodies. And what it turns out that like I would rather be a DeLorean than my body. So that part of it is it hurts. But we're bleeding and sweating and crying on that stage for you. Because we want you to leave with a memory of a lifetime or at least an evening.
Well said.
A lot of shows are about, a lot of shows I work on are about design and spectacle and things like this. And what I love about this is it's getting back to shows I've worked on, like Oh Hello with Nick Kroll and John Mulaney, where it's really about just like two hilarious performers, almost no scenery at all, and just the kind of the brilliance of their imagination and in conjuring an entire world.
Well, they're going to expect two powerhouse performances from Josh and Gad and Andrew Rannells. They are so inventive and hilarious in the show, and the show really is about two people kind of creating a show out of nothing, and they do that masterfully and in a way that is just kind of blows you away as you're watching.
Yeah, their belief in each other and their love for each other and their sort of trust in each other is kind of what makes all of this insanity possible. And we played these roles ourselves once, a long time ago, and we watching other people do it,
real
especially
actors,
these people, what some would call real actors, what some would call not us. It's every day when we sit in that rehearsal room and watch Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells doing that stuff, it is like an out-of-body experience.
So this show is like one of those Broadway shows I grew up on that is like just a pure comedy, like Joy Pez dispenser, and it is so fun from start to finish and so smart, and I think it's just one of those things where it hopefully leaves you when you exit the theater just like floating on a cloud of happiness.
It is the thrill of a lifetime. Andrew's had an opportunity to come back multiple times. This is my first time back in a decade.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It's exciting. It's the greatest thing to happen to me ever in my life. Andrew, I couldn't be more excited. This is going to turn into Our La La Land. This is how Our La La Land begins.
It's pretty much like that.
No, it's a dream come true. And getting to do it with
this guy.
Andrew?
Yeah, Andrew.
Andrew is truly a dream come true.
Josh.
Come see Gutenberg, the musical.
The musical.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.